It's time to draw. It's Lynn Barry, and I call this one Surprise Me. The idea is, since I'm doing these live at the moment, I would like for someone to come and surprise me. I'll draw something while I wait, but for the most part, that's the idea. Somebody pop in and surprise me. So I'm going to draw something to pass the time, but like I said, it's not. This is not the final thing. Do I want that version? I think I want that version. I don't do that sort of thing very often. Okay. Sure, it's lining up. Of course, there's not much for you to see at the moment. The angles are washing everything out that you can probably see for the most part. Section here. Section, that's a clue. So I'm back on, and I had some difficulties a few minutes ago getting everything started. Line up my references a little bit here. Like that. Yeah. Much more dour kind of mood. Now, if my best friend was watching, he could tell you this is the name of his phone. All of his phones, in fact. Hello, Pandora. How are you today? Any guesses of what I'm drawing? Or anything else you'd like me to draw instead? I'm going to surprise me, so feel free to surprise me with any idea. Might have to get some pens out too. Oh, no wonder. No wonder that didn't work very well. There we go. I hate when online players change soundtracks and split them into two categories. It's like, what are you doing? I only need the one. It's one soundtrack. Just leave it together. You should be sleeping. Okay. And Boo, hi B4LTY. Hello. Why should you be sleeping, Pandora? Have you got an early day at work? I guess it is 11:40 Central. So this time last night I was about a third of the way through my shift, so I feel like it's earlier than it actually is. It's going to be real fun for me tomorrow. I have to be asleep for an hour at this point. That won't happen. But yeah, so all right. Still putting together a lot of where these things are going to go here. I'm wondering if something might be off with Twitch tonight. I was having some issues getting it started. And at first I thought it was me, but now I'm starting to think maybe it's in general. How am I? I am doing all right. I had a killer day of writing on the new Dark Fantasy project, and I am in the middle of sorting out timing on getting some really good graphics to set up the Patreon page, which I hope to go live with very, 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 very soon. Little bit of fighting with UPS over some older issue, well, older, month-old issues, but sometimes those things can't really be helped. I was lucky enough to find someone who was very nice and competent today. In that front, I need that nose to go up a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing all right though. How are things with you? How are things with both of you? And anyone else who's come by? Oh, wonderful. 7:30 in the morning work is when it starts, so yeah. Yeah. And you'll have a little bit of a drive too, because it's not as simple as going about, I drive about 10, 12 miles to work and take the interstate for half of it, so it's not that bad. Especially since I live right next to the interstate. All right. Yeah, if anybody has any suggestions aside from the major, feel free to let me know. Why is this not scrolling down? That's better. Okay. All right. So. Kind of a standard one, like style. Maybe a little meaner. I'm going to adjust this a little bit and then be able to keep an eye on everything. Ah. With the finer tip here. These are all F pencils, but I'm using the sharpness or lack thereof to do different things. My opinion is if the major doesn't have some menace in her eyes, she's up to something. Great episode of Standalone Complex. I can't remember which season it's in, where Bato and the major have one of their little verbal spats. They don't happen often, but they're always fun. Yeah, it's Ghost in the Shell inspired, but it's I'm trying to do it looser and not copying somebody else. Uh, but I like the episode though where she is having that argument with Bato, and he's like, Major, I don't understand why you have an upgrade to a male chassis. I mean, it's far superior and everything. And she does this really, really goofy, cute face, which, she's a pretty stoic character. She doesn't do goofy, cute face. So she does goofy, cute face. He's completely taken off guard, and she mentally hacks him right there on the spot and has him knocks himself out. It was great. If her bangs don't betray me and I can get a little coloration up here, I think I'll hit it with a pen too. this one. All right. Have a good night, Pandora. Yeah, so what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to create a little bit of some shading to make it kind of pop. Just the coloration a little bit. Again, just using the different pardon me, different levels of sharpening to get different tones of the exact same kind of pencil. Alright. I think these bangs are probably going to be the hardest part. I'll go up here too. And here. All right. I guess I'm playing a little bit with the notion of her artificiality. What are we at here? All right. All right. I like that. Let's go over a couple of the major lines, no pun intended. All right. You can also do some really fine lines too with this. I'm doing these little embellishments to intentionally miss the mark to give the hair a little more flavor. You know, because fibers do different things. Every fiber of hair that you have is going to go a different direction. Even if they line up side by side, there's always going to be a little bit of variance. So, you know, they don't line up like this. They line up like this. There's a little bit of difference. So where I was playing toward her artificiality a minute ago, now I'm playing toward more of her humanity. Let's make a couple of strays here. Go back to this one just briefly. And we'll do that in a minute. I'm just teasing that lower lip with some color. Just teasing it. I'll do the same thing up here. A little harder. Okay. So now I think I'll get some pens out. Pens are fun. Try to do this. And then what do we got? Got a chisel tip. Let's play with that a little bit. I'm just doing a slight arc with my wrist as I bring it down to change the angle on this chisel tip. All right, and we'll do a little brush tip too. This will be good for these little small spots.